We're here at the WION Iconic Travel and Tourism Summit, and I have with me JB Singh, the director at Interglobe Air Transport today. He's also the president of Interglobe Hotels. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today on WION. Firstly, in your panel discussion, you were talking about how aviation and hospitality are two industries that are immediately hit once there are external shocks like the West Asia crisis we are seeing. So, what have been the lessons so far? How are you navigating it? What does FY27 look like?
Yeah, so organizations like ours over the years, we've been around for more than 40 years. We've built a lot of checks and balances in the system. I'm not saying that it's fully foolproof. We have a very big, uh, enterprise risk management system within the company, which gets monitored. So at an institutional level, we are continuously assessing our risks and creating mitigations around it so that it's a topic of debate as an organization in a absolutely on a regular basis. That gives us a lot of insights on how to look at risks and make sure that we bolt in enough systems to take care of when things go wrong. Now, ultimately, broad fundamentals apply. You have to run businesses which have a long-term view, which means they are structured to grow over the long term, which means they are responsibly built, responsibly built, addressing all stakeholders in the community. And if you broadly do that, you will come out better than maybe the others if something really goes terribly wrong. But what that also does is if you have a strong system running and you have strong capabilities around enterprise risk management, you're broadly as a company aligned to be extremely agile and have the ability to pivot very quickly to do different things to mitigate the damage that big risk can cause.
That's right. So, sir, that's about the big risks. And, when we talk about your business, you're also looking at an IPO with Accor, for your property. So, just wanted to understand what are the plans over there? How soon can we see it coming?
No, there's nothing that I know on that front.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Please, you were saying
No,
something.
I was just saying that the whole company is getting restructured. We announced a restructuring early last year. That process is on, and the two organizations, both on the DevCo side and the OpCo side, are going to come together. Creates a very very strong growth engine, in the country. We've been around, heavily invested, not just within our company, but also heavily invested in bringing out high quality products, high quality services to a fast growing consumer in the country. So we are very, very excited about it.
Right. And so you're on the hospitality side, your brand Ibis. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. How are you looking to compete with the new, boutique style hotels and properties that are coming up in India in the market?
Yeah, I said that on the panel. India has a massive depth of customers. The consumers here for virtually several cross sections of the economy. So there's enough out there for everyone. But the IBIS is a very unique model. It's a very very, should I say, perfectly made product which addresses the consumer needs perfectly, for the traveling consumers need perfectly. And there's a lot of research, and thousands of hotels were built around this to get to this point that we can say that we have almost 60% repeat customers at our IBIS hotels. We drive value for the consumer through space management. So we right size the buildings, but the quality of the buildings are very, very high quality. It has its own niche, it has its own play. We have no one anywhere close to us who believe compete with the quality of what we do, the size of what we do, the locations that we have, and the scale at which we build. I mean, we've got ibises that go up to 450 rooms as well. So it's a completely unique product. So we are quite proud about that.
All right, so great. Good luck with that. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on WION today. It was lovely. It was lovely chatting with you.